once again it's time for another Power Rangers review.
It's morphin' time!
How's it going, guys? Ash here, and welcome to my review of Soul of the Dragon. And if you don't know what Soul of the Dragon is, Soul of the Dragon is a one-shot story by Carl Higgins, the writer of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from issues 0 to 30, and it's his last project on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as he's finally moved away from, he's moved on to other things. He's doing a Winter Soldier story, I believe, and this is his last project with Power Rangers. And the art is done by Giuseppe Paparo, I believe his name is pronounced. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And I really enjoyed the artwork. I mean, this artwork was different from the usual artwork we get in the comics, and it's a more mature, gritty look at the art. It looks very, very realistic. It doesn't have that anime style that we see in the mainline comics here and there. It's a more realistic way of looking at the characters, and I really do like the artwork in Soul of the Dragon. It's really good, so props to the artist and props to Carl for his last story on Power Rangers. Now, Soul of the Dragon follows an old man, Tommy Oliver, where he's retired from being a Power Ranger and he's no longer in that line of duty. He's settled down, he's married Kat. Yes, he married Kat. He didn't get together with Kimberly. I get it in all my comments all the time when it's something Tommy related, that Tommy should have went with Kimberly, should have dumped Kat and went back to Kimberly. And I just want to say my last piece about talking about the whole Tommy and Kat and Kimberly relationship. Now, everyone keeps saying that Tommy should leave Kat and go back to Kimberly. Do you know how kind of weird that would be 20 years from now in Soul of the Dragon? Or if that was the main story of Soul of the Dragon, you just see Tommy on his hands and knees. He's got to get the girl that he loved back, and she's moved on. She doesn't care. It's been 30 years. He needs to move on right now. That'd be a bit of a weird storyline. What I'm trying to say, do you know how awkward it would be if he went back to the girl that broke up with him? Because it kind of makes Tommy seem a bit desperate to get Kim back, when that's not what the character is about. I think I would lose all respect for Tommy if he got a bit desperate trying to get back the girl he loved. It'd be like a weird romantic movie that you see in the cinemas. But anyways, back to Old Man Tommy. Old Man Tommy has settled down after a life of being a ranger, and he's had a kid called JJ. And JJ is all grown up and he's joined SPD, Space Patrol Delta. And what you do see in the comics, you see that Sky is in charge of SPD. So whatever years this is set in, I think that Kruger finally kicked the bucket after so many years and Sky took over. So that's a really cool nod. They paid attention to that Sky moved up the ranks and he was in charge of SPD all those years down the line. We also see that Age is caught up with Old Man Tommy, and he kind of has a metal spine, or a metal robot spine, keeping him together because he got into a fight with a monster which damaged his back, but it also damaged the Morphin Master. That's right, the Morphin Master we saw in Dimensions in Danger plays a role in Soul of the Dragon, which is really cool. And with the Master Morphin damage, this is Tommy's swan song as a Power Ranger, as Age is caught up with him, because they have a really cool concept in here with the Morphin Master damaged, where every time he morphs, the power coin disintegrates and turns to dust. So it's a really cool way they do it, where he goes from Dino Thunder to Turbo and then to Zeo and then Mighty Morphin White and then eventually to the Green Ranger. So it's sort of counting down to each morph he does, so you see each iconic Ranger suit that Tommy wears because this is his last time using it, and it's really cool that you get to see him morphing one last time in the series. So it's really cool that you get to see him do stuff like that. And for an old man, yes, Tommy has still got it. He can still kick ass as a Ranger, which is really cool. Now let's talk about JJ as a character, because JJ as a character in Soul of the Dragon, he's not much in it. He's in it for a little bit, he's a little bit in the first act, he sort of appears in the second act, and then he plays a very small but big part in the third act, because I don't know if I want to get into spoilers here, but they don't really focus on JJ that much. We hear about him, we get to see him, but I kind of wish that we got to explore more of him and Tommy's relationship. We know that he's like the son of Tommy and he joined SPD, but Tommy has this line saying we barely speak anymore ever since he joined SPD because he's been so busy for me and stuff like that. But I kind of wish we got to see more into their past. We sort of got a hint at it in Dimensions in Danger, but I kind of wish we got to see more stuff like that, because I want to know the relationship of this character, or basically of this family of Kat, Tommy and JJ. I want to know more about these characters, and I kind of wish this wasn't a one-shotter. They could have spread it out to maybe make it a 5-part series, and then they could have fleshed JJ more out as a character, because he's just there to be rescued, and that kind of sucks, because he gets kidnapped and Tommy has to go find him, and you know it's going to end with Tommy finding him and having a father-son reunion. But I kind of wish we got to see more of JJ doing more stuff. You've read the comic and you know what he does in there, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't. But to wrap up this review of Soul of the Dragon, it's a love letter to Power Ranger fans, especially fans of Tommy Oliver and the original Mighty Morphin. Although you see characters from all generations and seasons of Power Rangers, this is something that you have to own if you're a fan of Power Rangers, and it's worth reading and checking out. I highly suggest you read it, because I had fun reading it, and I'm sure you will too if you're a fan of Power Rangers. Anyways, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed this review, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, because there's more Power Ranger content around the corner.